With this channel, I don't only want to share with you a message of positivity and spread awareness about mental well-being and give you tools to live a happier and better life. I also want to document my journey of working on my passion, becoming a full-time coach, and creating content. And so I thought I needed to make a video on how the people in my environment, my family and my friends reacted when I told them about mind spaces and that I wanted to do that for the 1 year that is coming. And I thought, what better time would be to make this video than right now. I have just graduated from med school and I am so excited that I have now 1 year ahead of me where I can explore and discover my passion, discover coaching, and really work on this topic that passionates me. So if this is something that you find interesting, then stick around, because right after the intro we are going to talk about how my environment reacted to me telling them about this decision. So first of all, I want to say that I actually expected people to not understand this decision. I mean, it is not the normal way to go about life, to go to med school, graduate from med school, and then decide to become a life coach. So I completely understand that people were somewhat skeptical, that they had many questions, and that some of them would not understand this decision. So I just want to say that I don't blame anybody for their reaction. I think that all the reactions that I got were really completely normal, and I could not guarantee that I would have reacted differently if I would have been in their situation. That being said, I also thought that it would be so much worse than it actually was. When I decided to talk to my family and friends about this and to open up about this decision, because I felt like this was something that I wanted to do, but between the time where I felt that this is something that I wanted to do and that I actually had the courage to go and tell them pass a few weeks and sometimes even months. So I really expected their reaction to be way worse, and I really expected that people would not be so supportive. So it was a very positive surprise for me that my environment, after I explained things to them, really opened up to the idea and was pretty supportive. So without further ado, let's start with my mom. My mom at first was very worried. I remember I told her that after graduating I would want to pursue coaching and I would want to do this full time, and I wanted to ask her for her support to do this. And I remember that she said something along the lines of, why don't you work as a doctor and pursue coaching as a hobby on the side? And I can understand that, because she was really concerned about coaching not being a real job and not being a secure job. And I know that my mother values safety a lot. Nevertheless, for me, the ideal job has a totally different meaning than what an ideal job is for my mom. My mom may value safety more, but for me, freedom and creativity is so much more important. And so therefore, when I explained it to her, she could then understand where I was coming from. She watched my videos, she read about it, we talked a lot, and I could explain it to her why I want to do that and show her how I am really passionate about this. And now she really supports me 100%, and she totally understands my decision. And so yeah, I'm really lucky and grateful to have a supportive mom like her. Second up is my grandfather. My grandfather and we have a really close relationship, and his opinion matters a lot to me. I put a lot of value in what he thinks of my decisions, and I really wanted him to understand, or at least I really wanted to tell him what I was intending to do. So when I told him, he really didn't understand anything of what I wanted to do. I mean, who can blame him? He is almost 90, he doesn't know at all what YouTube is and how it would be possible to earn money with YouTube or coaching, and how on earth it would be possible to make a job out of this. And I completely understand. And I sent him some links, for example, a link to the explanation what NLP is, so neuro-linguistic programming, on Wikipedia, because this is something that I definitely want to learn this year. I sent him that so that he could read about it. I sent him my videos. I talked a lot with him about what it is that I want to do and why it passionates me, and he also understands my decision. I think that what gives him a little bit of safety or a little bit of a good feeling is that I first said that I wanted to do this for 1 year. If it works well, then I can see myself continuing even after the year is over, but at least it sounds more like a trial year or a gap year, or more how I prefer calling it, a discovery year, where I have the opportunities to try it out and see what works, what doesn't work, collect experience and also knowledge and discover new things really. And this is definitely an aspect that convinced him to trust me on this one, and I really think that he is very excited about it and that he actually thinks that it's a good idea. So I was just editing the video when I realized that I completely forgot to talk about the most important person in my life, the person that I live with, my partner, and how he reacted to me telling him that I wanted to do mind spaces. And he reacted so well, and he is the biggest supporter. He helps me so much with creating the videos, creating the photos. He is helping me so much with the entire graphics design and all the visuals of mind spaces, and I am so grateful for his support, for everything that he teaches me, for all his help and everything. I just wanted to add that. Now, before we keep going, I would love to know if you have any questions regarding my decision of becoming a life coach, even though I just graduated from med school. So if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I will answer every single one of them, I promise. All right, so let's move on to my friends. I had friends who immediately completely understood my decision, and this was such a surprise. I would never on earth have expected that anyone would understand this decision from the get-go without me even having to explain why. So I had friends texting me that they think that this decision is really brave, that they believe that this is definitely a match for me, that they see me very well in this coaching industry. I have gotten so much support and it was completely unexpected, and I was so surprised and so happy and so blessed. So thank you so much for all the support and all the love. If you're watching this, sending the love back to you. Then I had friends who needed a little bit of time to warm up with this idea. Again, I completely understand their reaction. If you have no touching points with the universe of personal development, and if you have not really read so much about it, if you don't believe in hypnosis, if you have never really spent time thinking about this, then it really seems like a very bizarre decision, and it is a very strange and weird choice. So of course you have questions, and of course you are saying things that are questioning this decision, and therefore I want to share with you what these things were, because then maybe if you are about to share a bizarre decision with your friends, you might maybe be able to prepare yourself to receive similar questions. The first and the most asked questions is, why? Why on earth would you study medicine to then become a life coach? Why? Just why? And I understand because it's absolutely not the classic curriculum, and it doesn't make much sense at first glance. I believe that studying medicine was the best thing that ever happened to me so far, because this kickstarted my love for coaching, my love for personal development and for the human psyche, and I would never have discovered this love if I wouldn't have studied medicine. Studying medicine also taught me a lot about stress management, pressure, about overthinking, about failing, about fear of failure, about expectations from yourself and from the people around you. And I am so glad for every single experience that I made there. And med school didn't only teach me medicine, it also taught me so much about myself. So I definitely see med school as a purposeful training for my career as a life coach or a mental trainer or a coach for you. Do you want to be an influencer? So this one, I don't know if we really need to talk about this, because if you are watching my videos, if you are following my live streams, if you have been around a little bit in the Mindspace community, you know that being an influencer is not my point, and an influencer is something totally different than what I am trying to achieve. But I understand, I am doing something on the internet, I am showing my face on the internet, so I can understand that for some people it might look like I am trying to become an influencer. I reassure you, I am not trying to become an influencer. The next question is, who is going to pay the bills? So I understand that the money topic might be a little bit a taboo topic, although I think it's really important to talk about it and to open up about finances and money, because it is really important and we need that to sustain our lives. So it is important to talk about this as well. For now, I am not financially independent. I am working really hard to become financially independent, and I am doing my very best that this happens as soon as possible. So of course I get also some critique, but it is very few critiques and some sentences here and there that are stinging a little bit, but you know, most of the people are so supportive, and I get so much unexpected support from strangers, from you guys who are an amazing community, and I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you so much for all your support. It means the world and motivates me so much, and you are such an inspiring community. I am truly grateful for you. Also, I get a lot of support from my family and my friends, and I would never have expected so much support. All the questions that I get are coming from a place of good intent, of worry sometimes, or of care, or simply out of curiosity. Many people start asking me, what does a coach do? Who can get a coach? What does coaching look like? What is the difference between coaching and psychotherapy? And many questions like this, where I can really see that people have interest or are curious about what this new thing is that I have discovered for myself. So if you are about to take the decision whether you want to talk about a project to your friends, to your family, to your environment, and you're worried about their reaction, I can tell you, in my experience, I met way more support than I expected, and I am so happy that I took the decision pretty early on to open up about what I wanted to do and about my projects, because it took some time, you know. When I said it the first time, there was way more incomprehension than when we talked about it 1 week later, and then 2 weeks later, and now we're talking about this already for a month, and the mindset and the opinion of all the people around me have changed so much. They are understanding it better, they can see what I do, they can see that I am truly passionate about this, that it makes me happy, that it fulfills me, and ultimately that is also what they want from me. So they can definitely understand my decision way better, and they can also see that it makes sense. So I hope that you liked this video. If you would like to support me on my journey to living from my passion, then leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, or even consider sharing this video with someone who also might find it interesting. Thank you so much for watching it until the end, and see you in the next one.